good, ladies and gentlemen? So, we're nearing a game which we haven't had in a very long time, where we have multiple players out, either through injury or multiple players out, because they're being rested. So we're actually entering a new, very interesting game, in my opinion, where we could be. There are obviously multiple directions we could go for this game, but we could be going into some very interesting lineup choices against Atletico Madrid, against the game today. So obviously, as I said, there are multiple different lineups that people, that newspapers and so on and so forth have put out. One of them being with a Jamal Musiala and Javi midfield, which I could definitely see. Other people have advocated for, say, Stiller in midfield. I think he's traveling, who's obviously a deep lying playmaker, but more so a defensive midfielder with a very good passing range. Other people have advocated for Alaba in midfield, and I'm not here to talk about the lineup that I personally want to see. For me, this game has one very important story about it, and that's obviously, first of all, the record. That's the first thing, the record. I don't really care about it, but the interesting thing is that I'm assuming the players will care about it. Even though I don't care about these longest winning streak records, because if obviously this one is very important because this one actually had a Champions League victory, but usually I don't care about these victory and whatnot records unless they bring a title. In this case, they did bring the Champions League title, but the players will care about it. So even the younger players will most certainly be like, we don't want to be the reason why this record is suddenly invalidated. And we still have a good enough team to win against Atletico Madrid. I know Atletico Madrid are currently a very good team. They're doing really, really well in La Liga. But at the end of the day, we're still a very fantastic team. Our offensive choices are still very, very strong. Yes, Lewandowski is being rested, but we're still very, very strong. Now, I'm assuming Choupo-Moting is going to start the game. Maybe later on in the second half, we'll have some of the youngsters come in and replace him, but I'm not sure. Thomas Muller, I think, is going to play as well, because they took him and he is kind of rested in a way because he doesn't play the international games. So in that sense, he is fully fit. Now on the wings, the question is Gnabry, Sané, or Costa. I think we're going to see Costa and Sané. I think that's going to be the perfect time for those two to get 90 minutes. Sané has, whenever he's come on, he's looked absolutely fantastic, and Costa obviously did very well as well. Flick has in the past mentioned how both of them are not 100%, but that was months ago. So from that perspective, they should both now be ready to play for 90 minutes, and I think it's good for them to get to play, and for Gnabry to get some rest, because I feel like Gnabry this season has been fairly poor, to be completely honest. I feel like he's had, I think he's been involved in 4 goals this season, and three of them came against Schalke in the very first Bundesliga game, and one of them came afterwards. It's like you've been involved in 4 goals in I'm going to say 15 games. I don't know how many games it's been so far, but roughly 15 games. So he's not having the best of season. And he, the same thing with last season. Last season he didn't have a consistent season, but every 3 or 4 match days, he would then suddenly pop up with 2 or 3 goal contributions. That hasn't really been the case this season so far. So I think a little bit of rest would do him well. Recharge his batteries, and then I think from that point on, he'll excel again. Then again, midfield could be anything. Honestly, could be anything. I would love to see Jamal Musiala play, start, I should say, but we will see about that, ladies and gentlemen. And then in defense, anything could be anything as well, with Lucas Hernandez playing, Pavard could be playing. Or you could have the likes of Sarr playing. Then in as centre backs, you could have Süle or Boateng playing. You could even have Javi playing. So we do have some choices. We don't have. I was gonna say you could have Tanguy, Kouassi, Nianzou playing. I actually don't know what to call him, because I always called him Kouassi, but the back of the shirt says Nianzou, so I'll just call him Tanguy Nianzou. You could have, I was gonna say you could have him playing, but he's not eligible for the Champions League. He wasn't registered because we weren't sure how long it would take him to get fully fit after his injury. So from that perspective, he won't be available just yet. We're already first in the Champions League. We're already first in the group stages. So that's why we're resting key players. Nubel will get some minutes as well, which is fantastic for him, of course. Yeah, so ultimately I will say this, I'm looking forward to this game for different reasons than I usually am. Usually I'm always looking forward to seeing the best players. Usually I'm always forward to seeing us play our best football. This time it's a bit of both. I'm still expecting to see fantastic football, but I'm also wondering to see what the lineup will be, how we're gonna play, who's gonna play, how well they're gonna play against a top club such as Atletico Madrid. So from that perspective, I just want to say this is going to be quite an interesting game. However, let me mention this as well. Tomorrow, there will be a video coming out about me, let's just call it power ranking Bayern players for November. So it will basically be me, ranking the players on a scale of how good I think they were, rating them for how good I think they were last month in all of the games last month. That's kind of what we'll be doing once a month at the beginning of every single month to recap the entire last month. I think that'd be quite an interesting video to make. Besides that, ladies and gentlemen, it should be it should be a very, very fun game, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how we play, and hopefully we win. But that's just my take. Of course. As always, I will see all of you in the next one, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, peace out, and as always, have a nice day.